I'm hitting the trail. It's time to do some talking. I'm gonna find me a honky-tonk hero with a story to tell. We'll have a chuckle. You never know, you might learn something. I'm hitting the trail. It's time to do some talking. I'm hitting the trail. It's time to do some talking.
You're listening to Tales from the Trail, brought to you by Cowboys and Indians Magazine. Now here's your host, Tyler Gummersall.
Thanks for tuning into this edition of the podcast. I got to sit down with my buddies Kin Faux. They're an awesome band. I first saw them at Lukenbach, Texas. They were playing in the dance hall and just, man, burned it down. And a bunch of great guys, too. Just really nice, down-to-earth people, in addition to being awesome musicians. You got Rico, you got RB, you got Jakey, you got Dan, and we got to sit down at Pete's in Helotes, Texas, and talked a little bit about how they got together and what's on the horizon for them. So I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned to the end. I'll let you know how to find out all about their music and all that good stuff. We even play a little song together at the end live, which is pretty fun. So you'll have to ignore the clinks and clanks of the beer bottles every once in a while. We were having some fun during this podcast, but I hope you enjoy it. Go check out their music.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, this is fun. Cheers.
Thanks for supporting us the other day, man.
Absolutely.
And being at Lukenbach, dude. Seriously, I appreciate it.
That was so much fun. That's such a amazing venue.
Yeah.
How was that playing?
That was really cool, but because it was our show, but when we did the Fowler thing, it was packed. Yeah. I mean, it was packed right up to the front, and that was really cool.
And that's a teeny little, I mean, it's not tiny, but it's...
I know what you mean, yeah.
It's with the roof being kind of low and stuff, probably get a lot of energy packed in there.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was incredible.
Good stuff.
And we needed it, too, because it was really cold.
Was it? You did the Fowler
it was like
thing?
40 degrees.
Fowler thing,
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I believe it. That's cool.
I forgot about how cold it was. The adrenaline pumping, though, when you have the adrenaline going, it doesn't, you don't feel it
No.
I didn't feel it. I was sweating.
Yeah. The other night, I was warm. I had to take my shirt off. It was warm up there.
Yeah, that's special. You can just feel the energy, though. It's pretty cool. Well, let's go around the table maybe for all the listeners in non-video land of who's who. They're going to get introduced to your voices. So we got Rico here, right?
Yeah, I'm Rico Gonzalez. Play fiddle and sing.
And play keyboard and play guitar.
And all that stuff. Yeah.
Band.
Yeah.
My name's Ross. I play bass.
All right. Cool.
And, Dan Courier, drummer.
Drummer Dan. We call him
Dan.
drummer.
Drummer and van driver.
D-rummer.
He's a handy guy.
Chauffeur.
I'm Jakey Black. I play guitar and sing.
Nice. Yeah, you do play guitar, man.
Melt your
I saw
face.
you. Golly, you play amazing guitar. You're riffing it up. You're all awesome musicians.
Thank you.
That was one of my questions. Obviously, you have a lot of hours behind your instruments. So you
Some
came
more
from
than
other
others.
bands before this, or how did this all come about?
Yeah, I started actually just playing, if I could say it on the air, classical fiddle, classical violin,
Classical fiddle.
I know, that was
More on there.
yeah, in San Antonio, Texas, and then went on and kind of majored in that in school, and that's, after I decided to kind of, I love Texas music, I wanted to get into it, so turned the violin into I changed the strings out for strangs. And,
Is that the difference? I've always wondered the difference between violin and fiddle.
A violin has strings and the fiddle has strings. So, and then it just happened, and that's kind of how things happen. And
I love it.
And I've been playing since I was young, and I'm 28 now, so,
Played mariachi.
I was a mariachi, here in town.
Nice.
With the family. That's what got me into it, the whole family band. My dad one day was like, hey, you're going to be in the family band. I'm like, I gave him one of those,
I love it. I was wondering about the classical angle, too, because in some of your solos at the end of one of the songs, I could definitely hear some of that coming through, like really, really polished, beautiful, soulful.
Oh, man, thanks, dude.
So it's cool how you can blend that, because a lot of guys can't do both.
Oh, man.
A lot, they can't improvise, but they can play, great violin.
Cool.
So I think that's really awesome.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
He's he's one of those guys who can do both wonderfully. I mean, he's been thrown into circles where he's never heard any songs, you know, and he starts playing along.
You'd never even know.
Yeah.
Just has an awesome ear.
These guys kind of like you.
I've never heard this. This is really weird. He's gonna tell me how horrible I am.
Oh God, we love you to pieces.
So that's me, yeah. And then I don't know. We got this guy here.
Yeah.
Bass players don't say much. That's fine.
Yep.
You can put me in the back and take away all my strings. No, I've been playing for 30-some years. And
Okay.
I played on and off with Jake here for, I don't know, 12 years or so.
Awesome.
Something like that. And then we stumbled across these guys.
Yeah, where did you guys all meet then? Was it in Michigan?
It was in Michigan, actually. Yeah. Rico, I was in a band in
I love this
little
story.
town called Lapeer, Michigan, and they were looking for an extra guy, and I saw an ad online that said fiddle player in Lapeer looking for a band, and Lapeer is a small town. If there was there's not many fiddle players in Michigan in general.
I would wonder, yeah.
And I was like, so I replied to it, and I said, I don't know if I can say it on the air, but what I said was, you either just moved to town or you suck, because there's no fiddle players around Lapeer. And he said, yes, I just moved to town.
That's awesome.
And so I pestered the guy that I was playing with and got him hired in the band. And
We met on Craigslist, as we say that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, farmersonly.com.
There you go. Fiddleplayer'sonly.com. That's awesome. And then you were in Michigan as well, or no?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, and I just played.
Sort of outlaw country.
Outlaw country
when I
was,
met you.
Yeah. And before that, I guess metal of some sort. But I grew up on country, so it's kind of full circle, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
No, once again, like you're playing, and this was all just from my one experience seeing you guys, and how that happened was the security guy, you know, Mark at Lukenbach.
Oh, Mark, I love Mark.
Yeah, he's the best.
He says he's our biggest fan. I love him so much.
And he told me, he's like, you got to come see this band. He told me like 5 times. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna come see this band then, and I'm happy I did.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
But watching you play too, it's an interesting a mixture, because for me, my personal opinion, it's like a lot of guys will play country, but they'll play, you know, more rock style to the country, but it never really like blends. I feel like, you know, you can tell that, yeah, you could probably play a killer metal song technically, but when you play a country lick, you're not being like a metal player playing a country lick. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that. I do.
Yeah.
I really do. That means a lot coming from a guitar player, you know, because I honestly, as I mentioned before, I start here and I hope I end here, and most of the time, whatever happens in between,
up the neck.
You know?
Yeah.
No, but thank you. Yeah, that's my goal.
That was one of the beautiful things when we first met, because we put this thing together as a side project, honestly, at first.
Sure.
And hoping to kind of just play the music we love. And when we met Jakey, you know, and I met him in a basement in some random, you know, little city in Michigan for our first rehearsal, it was like I'd never been able to play off of a guitar player and like have so many ideas and inspiration.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, he has a great, like, he has these ideas that come through his hands, man, and it's, oh, you got that? All right, I'm gonna go off that and do this, you know. And then he goes back at it, and I think we kind of feed off each other pretty well like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that seems to be the most excitement for me, anyways. Yeah, playing is being able to feed off each other.
Play off people.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, that's
the whole point.
what it's about. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. So, obviously influenced by, I would guess, Charlie Daniels Band. And,
Don't look at my case. There's no pictures of it.
Yeah, it has that feel. You guys are definitely your own thing, which is cool. I always hate kind of comparing or, you know, whatever, but because you're definitely your own thing. But it's that very like danceable country music with a rock vibe. But yeah, I mean that was the goal. That was the music you love.
Well,
you were saying that you guys just want to play music you love.
You want to talk about the whole industrial thing?
Yeah, we just, you know, I mean, like Rico said, it's him and I were riding back and forth to the gigs together all the time, and we decided we wanted to do this as a side project, and we both really liked the, you know, Texas sound, Red Dirt, all that, and so we started it as a side project. But when I knew Jakey from another band that he was in, and I'm like, man, I wish someday I could play with that dude, but I wasn't in the right situation at that time, you know.
Yeah.
Well, when we put this together, it's like I know a guy is perfect, right? So we got a hold of him, and he knew Ross from. Anyways, so that's how it came together. But we look at it more like you can see our influences, like you said, but we try to do our own thing, and we just kind of label it as industrial red dirt because we're from the Midwest basically, and you can see that influence also. It's a little grittier,
gritty blue collar sound,
gritty blue collar, but yet we still love, you know, Randy and Wade and Kevin Fowler and all those guys. So you can see all those. The Turnpike Troubadour is a huge influence on us.
And honestly, I may be the biggest Cody Jinks fan.
He's not a bad guy to be a fan of. Yeah, that's interesting. I think probably you could draw a lot of parallels though between, you know, working class blue collar and rural values, and that whole kind of, you know, Western thing. It's probably why it works.
Yeah. A lot of parallels there, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's definitely turned out to be the stars aligned pretty much for us. I mean, it just things have been really going.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Way better than what we expected when we started this thing. So.
But I mean, there are so many things that are really unique about this group. I mean, we are all just super sharp, laser focused on our goals. We rehearse all the time, and I mean, everyone is just so dedicated and just so willing to do what it takes to achieve what it is that we're trying to achieve. So I mean, everyone is on board, and it's hard finding people, you know, that have the same goal, and you know who.
Well, it all goes off the name, you know. Kin Faux is like fake family, right?
I was gonna ask,
that's just kind of like what we are, man. And like we spend more time together, the four of us, you know, than we do with our own families. And I hope that's not sad to say, but it's just that's the nature of the beast is right now, and so we become so close that's special. You know?
It is, it's very special.
And I'm sure there's other bands out there like that as well, but you know, for us, this is a first.
For us, it's very unique.
We love it.
Sure. Now, I think what you mentioned earlier too, like you guys are just playing the music that you love, started off as a side project thing. That seems to be a pretty common theme for really awesome bands, like the Time Jumpers. That started off as a thing, like, you know, in Nashville, some of the best session players in the world.
They're amazing.
We wanted to play good music, and so it turns into a thing, right? I mean. Does that mean because you're doing it for the right reasons, you think, or what?
Yeah, I think so.
I think because we don't have to fake who we are, man. We can be who we are. We can be proud of the music we're playing and music we love, and that it becomes more natural. Our heart shows a little more, you know.
It's real easy to feel it.
Yeah.
And you know, coming out of the gate, you know, I mean, this kind of music, I mean, it's pretty much unheard of, you know, up where we're from.
Okay.
So I mean, we weren't sure how you received. You know, I mean, this may be just a pipe, you know, it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that it
really well received by
yeah.
everybody up there. Yeah.
That's cool. I think people can definitely tell. They can tell quality. And I was talking to David Lee, who you guys did one of his songs, right, on that record.
Yeah.
He's a great songwriter. Wrote Letters from Home and all kinds of songs.
Another one of his coming up on the next album.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So I was going to ask about this last one that you guys recorded in Nashville. Did you write some of the songs as well? Do you guys write too? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
We co-wrote one of the songs on that album too.
Okay.
And this next album coming out, we've been working with some pretty cool songwriters down there.
Nice.
For this next one, so
that's awesome.
We gotta give a big shout out to Bernie Nelson. That first EP. You know,
that's almost
people who don't know who Bernie is just one of the great songwriters in Nashville, and we've become friends with him. I mean, really good friends, not just co-writers.
Sure.
And he really guided us on that first CD, and he's really helped us along the way as songwriters. And so we go down there as often as we can, or up there from here, over there down there from Michigan. But we get together with Bernie whenever we can and write.
I've been hanging out in all the places. Girl, we used to go. Little by little, I've been around. I keep tracing, no escaping what I used to know. I've been a rock, I've been a night. I always thought that I moved on. And girl, I guess there's no denying or hiding, and I'm dying. In the end, I'm not that strong. It looked like I was gonna make it. I came close, but now I know. Beat it down, you'll finally break it. I guess it took its toll. It's like water on a stone.
That's awesome. I saw that on the CD, and a crazy story. So my guitar mentor from Colorado, named Gary Cook, he played in bands with Bernie way back in the day. Yeah. And
So he's got some stories.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you want some stories? Yeah, just ask Gary Cook. But Bernie's a great guy. I was in Nashville once, and my friend Tony Arata, you know who he is?
Yeah.
He wrote The Dance, and he's a great guy.
What a deal.
Yeah. And he was playing a show to basically like a tribute kind of honoring thing for Mervyn Luke at Douglas Corner Cafe in Nashville. And so it was Tony and Bernie and Kent Blasey and Pat Alger, so basically all these guys that wrote, all of a lot of Garth Brooks hits to begin with.
Yeah.
But those were the guys that Douglas Corner and Mervyn gave the opportunity to play there when nobody else would, so they were
Right.
giving back. But anyways, but Tony had me up to do a song, and I had to sit in that circle with those guys. Unexpected, yeah. And I was looking at Bernie, and I was like, good thing Bernie's here. At least I have one kind of friendly face. But yeah, that was amazing. That was a cool experience.
Yeah.
But, so some of the songs obviously co-writes with Bernie, and then he did David Lee's song, and and who was playing steel? Because nobody in the band plays steel, right?
No.
There's another guy that we were.
I want to give a big shout out to this guy too.
Yeah.
Very fortunate to.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
His name's Bobby Randall.
Okay.
He's a former founding member of Sawyer Brown.
Yeah.
And,
They used to play steel with Confederate Railroad.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
And, we met him through a friend in Michigan, and it's funny, we kind of started telling him about this project and stuff, and he's like, well, let's see what you boys got, and he heard it, he's like, man, I'm gonna play with you guys.
He produced the EP.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, he produced it.
He's such an amazing human being, and just a nice guy, and one of the nicest people you ever meet. And so, yeah, he gave us some good guidance on what not to do and what to do. And we're still learning. It's all a journey, right?
Sure. Yeah.
This next album, we're excited. We're gonna be working alongside a guy named Jim Beavers.
Okay.
Out of Nashville.
Right.
We wrote a couple songs with him and his brother Brett.
Okay.
And we're just blessed to have people to help us along the way, So.
Yeah.
I feel fortunate.
That's awesome. It's all part of that family, right?
Yeah.
No, it's really true.
Whole
And
family.
How has it been for you guys in Texas? Because from my experience, I've been coming back and forth for a while. I've also gone back and forth to Nashville, and then recently becoming more permanent here in Texas over the last year or so. But I mean, they're some of the best fans and best people in the world, I think. But they've been pretty
amazing
welcoming
down
to
here.
you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you just said.
I second that.
Yeah.
Times 20.
Yeah, that's I just the way people receive music here is so different than what we're accustomed to.
It's incredibly unique.
They're
yeah.
really appreciative of new music and original music and stuff that you wrote that you bring out.
Yeah.
They don't just want to hear.
They prefer to hear original music. Really hear
And there's a bit of a standard, it seems like, too. They're I don't know if you want to call it educated listeners or whatever, but the culture of songwriters that, I mean, you talk about Guy Clark and Townes Van Zandt and all these. It's like a lot to live up to. So, yeah. That's cool. And obviously you grew up in San Antonio.
Yeah,
So
I grew up
you're
down the road, man.
Dude,
Hey, Lotus, dude.
This is an awesome spot. I really love it out here.
It's beautiful. I mean, I wish the camera could see the hill country, man. The hills around.
Beautiful.
This time of year is my favorite, you know.
Yeah, that's very cool. So it's almost a homecoming for you then.
Yeah, definitely. A long time awaited homecoming.
That's cool. How is what's the dancing culture like in Michigan? Is it similar to here? Because no, okay.
Nothing like here.
Yeah, because where I'm from in Colorado, we have a culture of dancing, two-stepping, and I guess, Colorado was partially Texas in the 1850s, right? Yeah, or 18-somethings.
Somethings.
Yeah, so we definitely have that Western influence, but that was a big deal too, man. You guys, people can dance to your music.
Thank you.
Like, dance, meaning like two-step and swing, like dance. So is that like a conscious kind of
course.
thing?
Something you don't see a lot in Michigan for sure.
Yeah.
You know, everybody down here knows how to two-step like crazy.
Yeah.
You get, a handful of people that do up there. It's mostly like line dancing and stuff
Sure.
like that way,
Yeah.
And I will say this, man. I'm so thankful for the fans and family we have in Michigan because they were there to put up with us when we first brought this out. You know, they were the people that stood by us and helped us grow because when we were doing what we wanted to do, and it's different, like I said, but I mean, it's they're still family. And
we have a lot of really fantastic, strong supporters up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, nothing wrong with it at all. I wasn't making a comparison.
It's just very different. It's very
Yeah, well, that's the great thing about this country. That's got to be part of the fun to travel around and play, right? You get to see all the differences.
But saying that, and then starting, two-step down here and seeing every single person get up and go around, it's like, that doesn't happen. Man.
It's really cool to see them two-step into the original music too, because you don't know when you do it, right? You just, a lot of times we just, in general, we don't start out and say, well, let's write a two-step. You just don't do that. You write a song and you hope that people like it, and down here, that's one way of showing that they like it, is they pack the floor two-step, really cool. So it's awesome.
Absolutely. And what is it? It's whiskey or Teardrops on the Rocks.
So,
that's a heck of a shuffle.
It's a great tune.
I'm a sucker for that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
it's a great tune.
So Rico, you play fiddle and you play violin and you play guitar and you play keyboards. But what I want to know is, when are you gonna start playing twin fiddle with yourself?
Oh,
when are we gonna figure out? You got a rig for that, like
It's one of those dual neck fiddles.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Cheap Trick.
One of our good friends up north, one of our booking people, he need to tie the bow to the stand and figure out a way to do that, how you do this, how you sing. I'm like, I can really tie my shoe.
That'd be pretty cool.
I love it.
So, but no, it's fun, man. Let's have a blast, man. These guys are constantly challenging and encouraging me. During a rehearsal, it's rare that we kind of are content. We know when we hit that stride when we're happy, but we're always pushing. And so maybe try this, Rico. Maybe try this, or let's try this together. Add this, and it's like, or everybody, And so, I think that's the fun part of it all. Is getting different things.
Because you guys are super tight, but also not tired at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, obviously you played that stuff a million times, probably.
Yeah.
But like a lot.
There was a couple of new ones in there that were a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah. But how do you keep it also fresh? Do you know what I mean?
Always learning new material, always writing new stuff. That's the thing, and that's something else I love about this group. We're always learning new stuff, I think that keeps us focused in the moment and moving forward. Because if we're not progressing, then we're going the other way.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
That's a rare thing, in my experience, is to be in a band where everybody loves to rehearse. We just, if we go through a string where we're playing a lot and we miss a week or two of a rehearsal or something, it just gets to like, man, I can't wait to get back and rehearse, because it's just...
That's our time.
It's just our thing,
because
it's pretty rare, really.
So the creativity of that, and coming up with arrangements and such. So everybody, you guys kind of all throw in your 2 cents, or how does that work?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Always asking for feedback. That's the one thing, I've been in some other bands where it's like, hey, constructive criticism isn't always accepted, right?
Right.
Here, it's encouraged. You know, nobody gets hurt or nobody, you know.
For the betterment.
Yeah, you know,
Sure.
if it's something
we
needs
all
to be
know
fixed,
what it's there for, you know.
We all know it's not about us; it's about the end of the game. So
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that seems to be super important, even especially in co-writing too. Like
That's the
this
thing,
is
yeah.
an interesting process. So do you guys co-write together?
all of us, man, we're all
everything, yeah.
we do it all together. We eat together, we sleep together, we.
Well, it just turned into TMZ.
Just kidding, no, but we're in this together, man. This is all for one for all.
Yeah, that's cool. And does somebody do lyrics more so than others, or
Dan and Jakey are pretty clever when it comes to lyrics. I'll say that.
Okay.
Something that he's a Shakespeare in the group.
Okay.
And Dan is like the rhyme king and like.
Not all of them are appropriate.
We can't always put the rhymes in, but you know. So yeah, I mean, we all bring something different to the table, you know. So.
Like I said, we're just still learning that process. We're, you know, with Bernie and with Jim and Brett and all those guys, they're kind of teaching us too. So I mean, those are the kind of guys where you can just bring in an idea or a concept or just a clever hook, and the song goes from there. And it's cool having everybody around the table putting in some input. You know, it's awesome.
Yeah, that is cool to get to work with pros like that.
It's amazing watching people like that.
Yeah, it really is.
You know, watching the ideas roll and
All those guys are
develop
freaking
and stuff.
nature,
It's
man.
amazing.
Songcraft, yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt. That's cool. So, what's on the horizon? You're recording a new album coming up?
We're getting material for it, and we're starting to write and listen, and we're gathering. I guess we're doing the preliminary stages, and we do want to get that going. We got a fall lineup of Texas states we're going to be getting going, and the end game, man, is just to be here and start spreading our music.
Yeah, even more so in Texas.
Even more so in Texas, yeah. Focus on that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I agree. Texas is a unique place for that, for sure.
We're still hitting up. You know, we go anywhere from Chicago to Pittsburgh to
Pennsylvania,
Pennsylvania,
Ohio,
all that Midwest stuff. So every once in a while, because we have family and friends there, and fans, and we want to keep the ties there. But we're going to be focusing more on Texas.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, growing up in the San Antonio scene and then coming back to it, has it changed much, or?
Yes.
Has it changed more than you have?
That's a good question. Yeah.
You know what? I feel like I'm more in tune with the actual Texas culture now that I've come back. You know?
Yeah.
Like I said, I grew up playing in symphony and doing mariachi and a different side of San Antonio, and that kind of culture down at the marketplace, more of the Hispanic kind of feel growing up. And not to say that Hispanics aren't cowboys or there's not country at all, because trust me, I've been at 151 on a Saturday night. You know? But now it's like my love for this, and I'm starting to see, maybe it's just a generational thing, but the love for Texas country, there's almost like a pride to it, and that wasn't there a few years ago. At least I wasn't into it. Maybe it was, but I definitely see a change, at least in my personal life, since I've been back. So
that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's growing. I mean, if you want to just in general, San Antonio is way different already. There's times where I'm giving directions and it's like, you need the GPS, Dan. I got this. I'll tell you where to go. And I'm like, wait, this road wasn't here last time.
That exit is not there anymore.
Yeah, around in 604 is a lot different than it was back when I was here. So
that's funny. I love it.
Yeah, but yeah.
You guys want to play something for us? We got the instruments out here.
We do, man.
Thank you.
Let's see what do y'all want to do, boys? You want to do a little
teardrops?
Play a little G chord. What is it? G chord.
Hey.
G chord. That's what we want. Get it. All right. So I can play on this little bench here. Should be fine. Want a little playing view? Threw my saddle in the bed of my truck, I loaded her up with all my stuff hit the highway, and just like that I was gone. Guess forever didn't get here before she changed her mind. Guess I'll never know where it was I went wrong. But I'll be alright once I cross that Texas line. I heard it's a pretty big place to hide. A little north of Lubbock, just south of Amarillo, there's a place I go to find some solitude. If you ever change your mind, I won't be that hard to find. Yeah, I'll be right here, hiding out in plain view. Population 21,388. Make her 389 by the time I get there. Don't need any luck in this old beat up truck. I'll just blare right in, and I'll be alright right now, I swear. And I'll be alright once I cross that Texas line. I heard it's a pretty big place to hide. A little north of Lubbock, just south of Amarillo, there's a place I go to find some solitude. And if you ever change your mind, I won't be that hard to find. Yeah, I'll be right here, hiding out in plain view. Maybe someday I'll see you hanging around, and we'll catch up on this one old heartache town. A little north of Lubbock, just south of Amarillo, there's a place I go to find some solitude. If you ever change your mind, I won't be that hard to find. Yeah, I'll be right here, hiding out in plain view. Yes, I'm right here, hiding out in plain view.
Texas.
Yeah. In plain view. Let's get a little fiddle jiggy.
Awesome. I love it.
Cool.
Is that one you guys wrote together?
That's
a
Bernie.
That's a Bernie. That's a Bernie song there, yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
this pollen's getting to my bow, man.
Everybody warns you about the allergies in Texas. And
Well,
your
that's-
fiddle, apparently. Too.
That's what they told us, man. Be careful. You know, this time of year. It's a beautiful time of year, though.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, man. That one's plain view. That was it's it's a great song, man. Just talking about trying to get that love back, you know, and you know, you'll be waiting there for them.
Yeah.
Hiding out in plain view.
Yeah.
You know?
Texas.
What better place to hide out, right? So yeah, that's one of them on the album, number 3.
Cool. Is there a story to this fiddle? I'm always interested.
Yeah, man.
Instruments.
So yeah, it's funny you asked. So this instrument, it's one of a couple of violins I have, or fiddle, I should say. This is my fiddle, right?
That's right, because it has strings.
This is strings. When I was in college, my parents bought me a really nice one to play, you know, the symphony, and in college, and I decided I couldn't probably take that into bars because I didn't have enough insurance policy on it. So,
Yeah.
But my uncle, he was a big fiddle player here in Texas. He played with Emilio Nevada, anyways, he passed pretty young, man. But he was well known. He played around the whole this area, man.
Yeah.
And, you know, when he passed, my dad actually got the violin, you know, and so he passed it down to me. So
That's awesome.
So now I get to keep it going and keep it playing on stages. And I mean, the
Is
story.
there some sort of autograph on that?
Well, it's wearing out. It's wearing out. The first time Dan and I were here, Dan came down to visit. There's pollen on my fiddle. That's a good thing. We went down to Green Hall.
Yeah.
And because we were just kind of scoping things out. I know Bernie Nelson and David Lee were doing songwriters around.
Okay, cool.
And anyways, I guess that was a different time. We were at Green Hall, and we saw that Charlie Daniels was going to be playing, and he's a good friend of Bobby Randall. And so we called Bobby, and you know, me being like, oh my gosh, Charlie Daniels, he's one of my biggest, you know, influences, and one of my, you know, most iconic fiddle players, just because of the show eyes, you know.
Yeah.
And so we get a call back not too much later, and Bobby's like, well, hey man, he's lining something up, you get to go meet him, and so we went in before the show and got to hang out with Charlie, and I asked him if he could take a look at my fiddle. He took it and started, you know, just doing plugging on it, you know. Hey, yeah, this is pretty cool, you know, it works out pretty well. And I was, do you mind signing it? And you know, and I was like, can you sign it here? He's like, no, son. I was like, oh. He's like, I'll sign it here.
On the top.
I've got my spot.
Yeah,
I
that's
sign
right.
I signed him here.
I love it.
So he signed it, you know, and then they warned me that you better put something on that to seal it. And sure enough, I should have, because it's starting. I mean,
Sharpie it off a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, you can still see a
I
little
mean,
bit. That's cool.
so hopefully, you know, Charlie, if you're listening to this, I get to see you again someday, bud. And
You can re-ink it.
Well, I mean, there's a certain variable here too. I mean, he is Rico is such like an extremely intense performer. I mean, he's essentially a walking wet map.
yeah, so it didn't really laugh. I mean, seriously, my poor instruments. I mean, yeah.
You do epoxy it or something.
That's what they were saying. So he signed my hat too, so I got that still.
And he signed a picture too. Yeah.
I keep that picture in my
He
case.
was like, "Can you sign this? How about this? Hey, could you sign this too?"
You know, I was just so excited to meet him.
It was
man.
awesome, man.
Dan was there too.
Super cool.
And you fanboyed out as well.
I
okay?
totally fanboyed out, man.
We won't get into the Vince Gill story, but we'll get Charlie Daniels' story.
I was gonna say, yeah. So have you opened for Fowl there, and then met Charlie Daniels? What are some other people that you've met in the industry on this journey so far who have been cool? We won't talk about the ones who haven't been cool.
We'll just say they've all been cool.
Yeah,
Cool. Fowler was way cool.
He
man.
was awesome.
Super
He was the first kind of core Texas guy that, you know, that I felt like when we played with, he was genuinely like nice, and he invited us onto his bus afterwards, man, and we hung there and
Potato chili.
he handed us
cool.
potato chili, dude.
Potato chili.
Amazing.
You want some chili? Yeah, sure. I was like, what the heck is this?
When Kevin Fowler hands you something to eat, you don't ask questions, you eat it.
That's right.
So yeah, that was a great time. I mean, we've all shared the stages with some pretty amazing people, you know. We're lucky and blessed for that, man, and we just keep hoping that happens, and hopefully, you know, that we become one of the core someday. So,
Yeah. I was talking about that with a friend the other day, just like people in the music industry, how most of them are some of the coolest people in the world and very accessible, and you know, even though they're super famous or whatever you want to call it, it's pretty rare. I really haven't bumped into anybody who hasn't been extremely gracious and wanting to help, which is a pretty unique thing.
Yeah.
You know, like help another artist out.
That does seem to be a thing in this circuit.
Sure.
Anyway, in the Texas thing, they're all really supportive. We went to the Texas Music Pickers Convention a couple months ago in College Station.
That thing in College Station, yeah. How was
Yeah,
that?
oh, it was really cool, man. It was really cool. But that was the whole vibe there, man. Everybody was there to help everybody else out, and it was in
The sense of
connecting,
community is
network.
amazing around here.
Yeah.
It really is among in the Texas music scene.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's nothing like it in the world, man.
Yeah.
Serious.
No, it's true, and geographically as well. I mean, to have such big kind of city centers, and then all these cool little things hidden out, like Green Hall and Lukenbach, and I mean, so many neat little areas for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's really cool. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for taking your time out of your schedule to hang out with me.
Thank you for the same.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I
That's
know
so
you're
fun.
busy and on the road and everything.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
We're gonna be hitting the Gulf Coast here in a couple days, and boys get to see the Gulf of Mexico.
Nice.
Yeah, all that green brown water, baby.
I love it.
Seaweed and jellyfish.
Oh, yeah.
We're excited.
Occasional oil slick.
Thank you for having us, brother.
man, of course.
Tyler, it's an honor, and seriously, the fact that you asked me, thank you for that. And
You guys are awesome. It's all about recognizing other people who are putting in the work and everything. So, yeah.
Appreciate that, man.
So good luck. Yeah, hope to get to play with you guys down the line.
Oh, same here, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it'd be great.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that, bud.
Awesome.
Now the real interview starts.
Let's do it right now. Man. Sing one.
Yeah, you want to sing one?
Sure.
I know you know some straight or
That'd be
something,
fun.
man.
Sure. Put my knife away so I don't mess up your guitar. Let's do. I got one. Thank you, though. Yeah. I think we play similar ones, though. How about a little Hank Williams or something? Sure. You want to do that? Yeah. And E, move it on over. You guys know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll play the air bass. Well, I came in last night about 1:30, and that baby of mine wouldn't let me in. Said, move it on over. Move it on over. Slide it on over. Slide it on over. Move over, little dog. The big dog's moving in. Yeah, she told me once, well, she told me twice. I don't listen to no woman's advice, so move it on over. Move it on over. Slide it on over. Slide it on over. Move of a cold dog with a hot dog moving in hospital. Pops before you whine. This side's yours and that side's mine. So whine it on over. Whine it on over. Move it on over. Move it on over. Move over. Tall dog with a short dog moving in. She come here begging me on her knees, but I've been busy scratching. Please scratch it on over. Scratch it on over. Move it on over. Move it on over. Move over, little dog. The big dog's moving in. I said, move it over, little doggy, 'cause the big old dog is moving in. Man, that was a fun interview with those guys. This recorded song I interjected there was called Water on a Stone by Kin Faux off their debut EP. Now, if you want to find out more information on the band, you can go look them up on Facebook, KINFAUX, or also visit Kin Faux, KINFAUX.com. That's their website. You can get links to all their social media and tour dates and everything. I really highly recommend that if you can see them in person, go see them in person, man. They put on a great show. And as always, you can find out more information on this podcast and other podcasts at cowboysindians.com. Just go ahead and search my name, Tyler, Tyller, or Tales from the Trail. You can find the other episodes there. If you're watching on YouTube, there's also a companion podcast audio-only version out on all your podcast services. And likewise, if you're listening to the podcast and you want to see what everybody looks like, you can go to Cowboys and Indians Magazine's YouTube channel and check that out. If you want more information about my music or where I'm going to be playing at, you can visit Tyler, Tyller music.com. You can also find me on all the social media accounts with the same handle. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy it, and I really appreciate having a listener like you.